Scorpio, welcome to my channel. I hope you're doing well. I'm getting a sense of relief in your energy, Scorpio, after the Scorpio season. I think it was quite intense if you were a Scorpio. The deep dive into a lot of emotional stuff. And not just for your sign, for the rest of the zodiac, you were holding space for all of that. So you could be feeling, a little bit drained, or, not drained in a bad way, but just a sense of exhale and a sense of peace after bringing in that energy. Wow, oh my word, this cards just fell on the table. Time for a deep dive. And that's exactly what I said. Deep dive. That's exactly how it felt in Scorpio season this year. Was like submarine energy. Like that's one, like a deep dive into the abyss of emotion. And the fixed signs, as a Taurus sun, the fixed signs had to hold that space for you as well. So I definitely felt that as a Taurus sun. Leo and Aquarius would have felt that energy as well. So time to relax, Scorpio. Time to exhale from the intensity of your season. So I'm going to get 2 oracle messages for you for Sag season. What's coming in for you this month, energy check-in, advice from Spirit, and then some tarot, and we'll close off your reading. Okay, Spirit, for the sign of Scorpio collective, please and thank you, messages of love and light and guidance. All negative energy must leave my space now. Only jumpers, please. And thank you. Parrot, that's interesting. Gemini got this card as well. Parrot Spirit, watch your words. It's a 9 energy. So in numerology, that is the completion of a cycle. Maybe you're feeling a little bit sensitive right now, Scorpio. Having gone through quite an intense emotional deep dive, there could have been a lot of situations that came up for you that needed to be addressed with other people. And what Spirit is saying is, what I'm feeling is that, you could be feeling triggered, or, and as I'm saying that, thunder. Watch your words, and also what you are saying to yourself, Scorpio. What messages are you repeating to yourself? Is it something that makes you feel good about yourself and reminds you of your strengths and potential? Parrots mimic the sounds around them, and when Parrot Spirit appears, it is time to be more mindful of your self-talk and its qualities. What do you say to others? Are you repeating what you truly believe? Remembering to speak with light and love can become a habit. Be generous with compliments and thanks, affirming all that is good, so that your loving, healing words will be heard throughout the jungle, cutting through the noise and inspiring others. Listen for the words that remind you of all the strength, abundance, and joy in your life and in the world around you, and then repeat them, affirming what is real, true, and nurturing to the soul. The universe will reflect back to you the story you tell. Words matter. I always say words are spells, so choose them wisely. Choose words that lift you up and inspire others to remember the beauty that surrounds us. And this is from your mouth, your pen, your keyboard. Be mindful of the beliefs you have internalized. Are they what you choose to believe? That's interesting because, and you know, Taurus is the opposite sign to Scorpio. And I'm a Taurus sun. And what I've been experiencing in myself and in the collective readings and energy as well is a lot of revisiting the way we look at ourselves and the way we look at or have looked at certain situations, and reframing that. Reframing it, looking at it from a perspective of yourself, but not pointing the blame at yourself. Looking at it from a space of compassion, from a sense of compassion, the choices that you've made, the arguments that you've had, the decisions that you've made, the relationships that were lost. And understanding your role and the story you've been telling yourself as well about that, Scorpio. You can tend to be very self-flagellating. So like myself, there's a lot of things that I have judged myself very harshly for and blamed myself for. And reflecting on that and journaling, I realized that it's not my emotion to take on. So it's important for you to also recognize what is your emotion, what is your energy to take on versus what others are projecting onto you so that they can feel better about the situation. And the only thing we can do is own our own emotions, reactions, and our own space. Right, Scorpio? There's no ways that we can convince or change another person's perspective or view, but we can change the way we see ourselves in that perspective and not continue to self-flagellate and tell ourselves that, stories or narratives that are not true and that are not in alignment. And you'll find that a lot of these patterns come from, the way we grew up, the situations that we were faced with, and the masks that we chose in order to survive. All of that is dissolving right now. And because of that, a lot of relationships are going to get revisited, audited, and triggered, and a lot of relationships will be lost. But you are not responsible for how other people perceive you. Or what other people are expecting of you emotionally. And because you are shifting and changing, a lot of people are going to be triggered by that or confused by that. And this is what is coming through. And maybe, when those situations come around and you're confronted with that, is to watch your words and not get sucked into the projection. Or sucked into the healing of what others are choosing not to do. Their own healing. Okay, I just want to get another oracle message from the angels and ancestors. Fire guardian, ignite your passions. So you could be dealing with a fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. And it's a 1 energy. So I'm feeling like this is your time now, Scorpio. Connect with your desires. The sparks could lead to something beautiful. The fire guardian represents the angels of fire. Fire is an energy that many people are afraid of but shouldn't be. Burning desires can lead to great expansion. Allow the fire guardian to help you awaken a wilder side of yourself and burn away any fear or shame that stands between you and your desires. When this card appears, you are reminded that passion is powerful and absolutely encouraged by Spirit. You are being guided to connect with the powerful energy of desire at this time. If there's anything that has been, preventing you from moving into your desires because of shame, and shame is an energy that Scorpio can carry very heavily. It's a very deep emotional scarring, and it's the blame of yourself that I was, feeling again with the Parrot card, is to reflect on that and reframe it so that you're able to step into your fire energy and your desires. And it has just come pressing down. Whatever was blocking you emotionally, Scorpio, in pursuing your passion, I feel like that is burning away. And we are in a fire season right now with Sagittarius energy. Wow. It feels like a cleansing, Scorpio. Okay, Spirit, please and thank you. I just want to get some tarot messages. New beginning for yourself, Scorpio. Self-love. So the Nine of Air at the bottom of the deck, and behind that your card, the Tower. The Nine of Air energy is a card of anxiety, and it's air energy, and all those doves represent a thought. This deck that I'm using represents this card very differently to, the normal Rider-Waite Nine of Swords energy, which you can see the anxiety. This is the Nine of Swords in the Rider-Waite. You see the different energy, Scorpio, from being burdened by your thoughts. This is the self-flagellation energy. This is the shame energy. This is the I'm not good enough energy, and blaming yourself for a lot of what's going on around you, and taking on the blame of others, taking on the shame that others may be projecting onto you, so that they can feel, better about a certain situation. And this is reframing it, Scorpio. All of those thoughts are becoming white doves or peace in your space, and giving you a sense of freedom from this anxiety. So it really is, and I love that Parrot Spirit came out for you to say, watch your words, watch what you are saying to yourself, because the brain believes, what we tell it to believe, and it can then become in an action, a behavior. Thought is very powerful, and it's not always easy to switch up the power dynamic between a negative thought and having a positive one. but it's just leaning into or just being aware of the thought that's coming in right now, and what is that telling you? What is that saying? Is it serving you in any way? Is it self-loving? Is it a self-loving thought? Because the Ace of Water is here, which is about giving yourself those pearls of wisdom, restoring your own sense of inner peace, and bringing self-love back to yourself without giving it away, and not feeling guilty about that, not feeling shame about that. It's about cradling, yourself, showing compassion for yourself. The Ace of Cups is a new beginning in an emotional sense, and it is very much a card of giving back to yourself, Scorpio, and being mindful of the thoughts, because your thoughts can either trap you or that they can create a sense of freedom within you. Messenger of Air is another card of communication, another card of thoughts, another card of, it's the Knight of Swords in the traditional tarot. It's about communication. And again, I'm getting that, there's a new cycle in the way that you are talking to yourself, or the way that you are communicating as well. You are able to look at things from a different perspective. You could have been juggling different perspectives about yourself, about a certain situation, and you're now able, to see both sides of the coin and not just take on the burden of the situation on your own shoulders, Scorpio, is what I am sensing for you. It's a new cycle. A new cycle is beginning for you, and this is coming up for a lot of the zodiac, but it is about releasing of karmic cycles, and we've all been going through this, is releasing the people, the things, the places, the situations that have perpetuated the shame or the guilt or the sense of self that is not true, but that we've taken on in order to fit in or belong or survive. And that becomes our way of being until we wake up to the reality of what is actually going on. And, it usually comes at a point where, and this is your card, the Tower moment or the death energy, at a point where it's causing so much self-harm and pain that there's no way out of it other than to reframe and to look at it from a perspective that allows you to be in alignment with who you truly are, Scorpio, before all of the outside voices came in. I do feel like you're starting a new emotional cycle here. Anything else for the sign of Scorpio? Why is the Two of Pentacles here? The Fool, exactly, starting a new cycle. I definitely do feel like you're resetting and trusting yourself more and stepping into more of your own self-worth and truly believing in that sense of self-worth, Scorpio. Any closing messages of guidance for Scorpio, please and thank you, Spirit. So I think the message is simply to be kind to yourself, Scorpio, to take this time to look after your own emotional needs and to block out anything that doesn't allow that. It's definitely a self-reflection. I think you, within yourself, you have a lot of pearls of wisdom. Wow, that's some hectic lightning energy. There's a lot of, and that's a Tower moment, there's a lot of wisdom that you have, Scorpio, about your journey, especially your emotional journey, that's now coming in for you. And it's taking the time to reflect on that journal, learn to love yourself again from that perspective and all aspects of yourself without judgment, but with compassion. I think you're finally able now to look yourself in the mirror or reflect on yourself without a sense of shame and anxiety and guilt and depression, but able to look at things from a different perspective and to forgive yourself and have compassion for yourself, Scorpio. So I hope this resonated and brought some hope and guidance to you. I'm sending you so much love and take care until the next set of readings.